Well, now, hopefully you can hear me. I've just went live there. I didn't have my microphone turned up, but I can see the thing going up and down now. So that means I have. And hopefully Jamie, who spotted that, was the only one who saw it. But I'll tell you. I'll tell you again what I was saying. Have a listen to this piece of music. Facebook, listen to this piece of music. Now, the reason I'm playing Facebook this piece of music is because it's actually a piece of music that I'd written. Now, yesterday, and I'll tell you why that is. So yesterday, I recorded a Facebook Live event for Student Social Work Hub, SW Bohemians on Twitter. So I recorded for them, and because I'd used a bit of music from Keith Jarrett's brilliant The Con Concert album, they muted that part of the video because obviously it was a copyright infringement, or they said it was. I mean, I just thought I was using a bit of a music to make a point, and people then might have gone off and bought the album. So free advert for Keith Jarrett and his wonderful album. So what I've done there is I've just played a piece of my music because I want to see whether the capitalists at Facebook protect my rights to be asserted as the artist who performed that little bit of music that I played right at the start. Let's see, but that's not really what. Let's see. That's just me being pedantic. But that's not why I've come on today. I decided after doing the Facebook Live thing yesterday that I enjoyed it. It was really good, and my 45-minute to an hour presentation lasted an hour and a half, which is typical. So I just thought, I should do that again, and I should maybe do it more often, and I should maybe come on here frequently and tell you something about self-care, because I often muse to myself about it, and I think, well, if I just pressed live on here, then I could tell people what my musings were, and somebody at some point might be interested, but probably won't be, to be fair. And that's fine. So that's what I'm doing. And those of you who've followed my various endeavors over the years will know that I'm probably now going to do this religiously for the next 4 or 5 days, and then probably never do it again, because one of my big flaws is I'm a starter, not a finisher, definitely, without a doubt. So there you go. So I was thinking of doing this morning, and I got caught up in a lot of stuff because I went out for a run, like you do. I do not park run on a Saturday morning, because Saturday morning, as I'm sure lots of you know, is park run day. If you don't know much about park run, it's not on at the minute because of the whole lockdown thing, but it's a timed 5K run. So they've been urging us to keep fit, by the park run people, by doing not park run, and so not turning up to where you'd normally do park run, which is normally at a park, but just running somewhere and running kind of 5K. So I've been doing that, and I was talking about this yesterday, and one of the things that about rest, I'm going to talk about rest. Rest is actually it's an active thing. It's not an inactive thing. So you can rest while you're doing things, because even rest, like doing some exercise, means that you're switching off to other things. I find when I go for a run, I switch off to everything else. I just put one foot in front of the other and I run. And it's the same when I walk. I go and walk and I put one foot in front of the other and I just walk. And it means that I can switch off to anything that's going on in my head and just take some time for myself. And that's restful. Because what it does is it switches on a part of your brain called your default mode network. And your default mode network is the bit that goes to work once you turn your attention from outward focus to inner cognition, if you like, to inner focus. So another thing that's really good, as you can imagine from what I've just said, for rest, for encouraging your default mode network to be active, is meditation and mindfulness. So I had a great day. I hope you're having a great day too. And I wonder if you watch this, and it's a bad time of day to be doing this kind of half on a Saturday afternoon. So if you watch this later on, I'll see if anybody posts anything, and I'll be pleased if even one person did. Tell me what you're doing to rest. Tell me what you're doing on a weekend to kind of chill out, because it's really important. it's really important to rest on a weekend, because what I suspect is people leave their rest until a weekend, and we shouldn't. We should have what gets referred to, I'm sure it's Rangan Chatterjee that refers to this as micro rests. We should be resting kind of periodically through the day, and through the week. We shouldn't be leaving that all for a weekend. Because we need to recharge our batteries during the day, we need to recharge our batteries on an evening, we need to recharge our batteries on a weekend, so that we can be productive. So I just wonder what you're doing. What I've done is I got up this morning and I read, because I love to read on a Saturday morning, and then I went for a run, and then I did some meditation on my Shakti mat. If you don't know what a Shakti mat is, have a look at the Self-Care Shorts blog. There's a blog on there. It's a great thing. It's wonderful, and it helps you mitigate your stress response as well. So it's really good, as does all of rest. So your default mode network is really important. When you rest, it switches your default mode network on, and people who have more complex default mode networks, by engaging them more regularly, kind of show empathy more effectively. They can tune in to other people more effectively. So I think that's really important. So the implications of rest are sometimes that rest's a waste of time, but rest isn't a waste of time. If you rest, you're more productive, and more productive at work, but not necessarily just at work. More productive in your own time as well. So I think that's really important. So let me know what you're doing to rest this weekend, and take some time out. Try and get some rest, so that we're all ready for the following week. There was an interesting bit of research that I read once over, Lost in the Mists of Time, which said that this bit of research said that people who don't actively rest on a weekend and plan their rest, so they know what they're going to do, they know which restful things they're going to do. People that don't do that tend to be the people who experience the kind of Sunday night blues a bit more than others. So if you engage in rest and you actively rest, then you are more likely to feel okay on a Sunday night about impending work the next day. So my dog has decided to interrupt things, and I was going to leave it about there anyway. So make sure you're getting some rest this weekend. Think about what you can do to actively rest. Go for a run, go for a walk. Think about what you can then do to rest inactively, like watch a bit of TV, watch a movie, maybe, those kind of things. Maybe meditate and relax, and have good weekends. Tell me what you're doing to relax, and I'll check in with you. And I'm going to do more of these. This is good, even with the dog barking in the background. Take care. Morning, everyone. Morning, everyone. Just 11:20 on a Sunday. I've been waiting. I was gonna do this earlier in the morning, but I've been waiting because I've been uploading the Pillars of Resilience thing from Friday, and now that I've kind of edited the offensive musical bit out of the start, so I'm going to share that soon. It's a whopper. It's an hour and a quarter long, so you might want to watch that, or you might not. Your call. What I was going to talk about today, because it's really on my mind at the minute, because I've been cleaning. Sunday is a day for cleaning. I always find I like to enter the kind of working week, the Monday to Friday routine kind of working week. I like to enter that with everything in order, all my ducks in a row. Remember, you'll hear me say this time and time again. I get all my ducks in a row on a Friday for kind of work, but also on a weekend, and I get all my ducks in a row around the house as well. So I've been cleaning because I'm about to enter probably the busiest kind of 3 months of my work calendar, if you like, because this is the time we do most teaching and stuff at university, and I've got other things going on as well. So there are two things I want to talk about, and there are two things that are really important in terms of productivity, and that is setting your intention and then setting your attention. So setting your intention is making sure that you know what it is you're going to do and when you're going to do it. What do you intend to do? And part of that, to me, is setting up your environment so you're good to go. Now, I like everything clean and neat and tidy. So that's why I'm cleaning. I've got a busy week ahead, so I've cleaned the office, I've sorted everything out, tidied up a whole lot of stuff in my electronic world. I've tidied a whole lot of stuff up there because I'm setting my intention. I'm setting my world up so that I can do everything that I intend to do next week. And part of that is just feeling kind of psychologically kind of prepared for it. So I rested yesterday. I had a great day yesterday, did some meditation, went for a run, had a lovely night last night, watching Day of the Triffids from 1962, I think it was, because I love old movies like that. So I'm setting my intention. I'm going to get everything in order. Because then once you've set your intention, once you've planned, you hear me go on all the time about planning. Planning sets your intention. What am I planning to do next week? One of the things I'm going to do this afternoon is I'm going to plan the exercise. I'm going to set my intention to do exercise. I'm going to set my intention about what I'm going to eat next week. I'm going to set all of these things up. It doesn't take long. You know, what I mean by that is I'll sit with my calendar and I'll plug in a few places where I'm going to maybe, you know, do some body weight exercises or go for a run. I'll talk something else about planning meals because I'm into that at the minute. That's a new thing for me. I'm into that. So I'm setting my intention for next week. Because if I set my intention for next week and I've got everything in order in my calendar, all my ducks in a row, then what that means I can then do when I get to the thing that I need to do next is I can set my attention to it. I can attend to the thing that I need to attend to right now in a mindful way so that I can I've set my intention so I know everything's in order for the week, apart from those kind of chaotic crisis things that come to us all, and they do. But if you set your intention, you'll know where your gaps are, where you can pick up things. I have set my intention so that when I am engaging in a task, I can set my attention. I can attend to that task in a mindful way to the exclusion of everything else. One of the things we know about setting your attention to things in a mindful way is you can get into a state that Mahali Csikszentmihalyi calls flow. And when you're in flow, you work more efficiently and more effectively. So that's all I've got for you for today. I'm going to try and not make these things too long because I can just talk forever, and I'm sure you don't want to sit and watch hours of this kind of thing. Little bite sizes, I think. Well, that's the point, isn't it? Self-care shorts, social work shorts. There should just be little things. So today, what I think you should be doing for next week is setting your intention for next week. What are the things you are going to set out to achieve? When are you going to do them? Have you got everything sorted so you can do them? And then when you do them, set your attention to them. Multitasking is a myth. I'll talk about that sometime else. Multitasking does not work. Single tasking does work. Set your intention and then attend to each thing with attention. Have good weekends, and I'll check in soon. Monday morning, here we go. How are you doing? I'm checking in really early this morning because I'm up, because that's my chronotype. I wanted to tell you about chronotypes today because I think it's really important. I think how we structure our working day, where we place the things that we need to do is really important. So I'm up at 10 to 7 here. I've been up since 6:30. I'm sometimes up earlier than that because my chronotype is, on a very basic level, is that I'm a morning lark, and you might be a night owl. So on a basic level, that's your kind of chronotype. Are you somebody that's up bright and early and bright and breezy on the morning and wants to get at things? Or do you take a bit of getting going on the morning and then you find that what you need to do is kind of do work on stuff kind of a bit later? There are a couple of realities in that. I suppose the first reality is that generally speaking, for the majority of us, we're better on a morning. It's as simple as that. Now, your morning might start at 6:30, or your morning might start at 9. That's when you might be feeling kind of up for it and ready and ready to go. But you're going to be better on a morning generally. That's what the data says. You're going to be better on a morning generally at this point of the day, or up to lunchtime, than you're going to be trying to do things at 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the night. That's just not the way forward. So have a think about your chronotype. My chronotype. Oh, for some reason I've got some music playing in the background now, which is going to really, that's just started, which is really going to freak Facebook out, isn't it, at the minute? Just get rid of that. So my chronotype goes a bit like this. I'm really good at this point of the day. That's why I'm up now. I'm going to do my emails, and I'm going to have a quick walk with the dog. I'll be really good up till about 11. Then I start to tire. My lunch break gives me a bit of a boost till about 2, 3 o'clock, and then I'm no good after that. And that's just the way it is. So you'll be different. So have a think about kind of how different you are. Think about what your chronotype is. How do you operate through the day? Where are your peaks? Where are your energy peaks and troughs? Yeah, where's your motivation peaks and troughs? Where are they all at? And then try as far as you can to kind of work your work around that. So I try and do all my thinking, my lecture prep, all the stuff that needs all my full attention. I try and do that in the morning up to lunchtime, and then when I've started to really kind of tail off at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I can't just stop working. There's work to do. I can't just stop working. So when I start to tail off, I start to do admin type tasks. I start to just do things that kind of need filing, things that need sorting, things that need organising. So I can just do that kind of without the full need for all my faculties. So have a think about that for today. It's Monday, so we're all wanting to kind of get at the week. So while you're thinking about the week, think about where the things you need to do best fit with where your energy peaks and troughs are. Okay, and have a good week, and I'll check in with you soon. Take care. Morning, everyone. I'm going to start talking now because I don't want to get rid of this little quiet bit right at the start. But Facebook kind of goes round and round and says that I'm not live until it says that I'm live now. But actually, I think I'm live from the moment I press go live. Going live, Philip Schofield. Remember that? That was really cool. I used to enjoy that. Swap Shop, Noel Edmonds. There you go. Anyway, Tuesday, how you doing? Tuesday, interestingly, lots of the research says that Tuesday is our most productive day. Can you believe it? And in part, that's because we spend all day Monday planning what we're going to do for the week. So I'm going to talk to you on Friday about planning on a Friday for the following week. Because the reason that, like I say, the reason that we're at our most productive on Tuesdays is because we spent and lost all day Monday to planning for what we're going to do the rest of the week. Now, if you plan on a Friday afternoon or your last working day, then you are good to go from the moment you get to work on Monday. That helps with productivity. That helps with getting on with things, and helps you to stay in control. It also anecdotally, I've talked to a couple of people lately who I've talked to about this, where I've said, plan on a Friday, and they've said that they felt more relaxed on a weekend because they've left on a Friday with everything kind of sorted, so they know what's to do on Monday. So I think that's important to. Yeah, but I'll talk about that on Friday. So I'm talking about it now. That's how it goes. What I wanted to say today was, if Tuesday is your most productive day, then I want you to get the most out of Tuesday. I want you to have a great Tuesday. And I'm really keen on visualization. And there's lots of evidence that visualization really works. If you just think of Johnny Wilkinson kicking the goal in rugby, he visualizes the kick, he visualizes the ball going through the post, that kind of thing, and it has real power. There was an interesting piece of research that probably not getting the details right, but they gave two sets of people a piece of sheet music, and half the people could practice on an actual piano and touch the keys and actually play it, and the other half could just look at the piano and the music and visualize themselves playing the piece. And what they found was that the people who visualized, for the most part, were just as prepared to play the piece as people who had actually played the piano. And so mind's eye rehearsal, as we call it, this visualization kind of really works. And actually what was shown in the research is that it activates the same parts of the brain as though you were actually doing the thing itself. So visualization is really important. And what I do is I go through my day, because I've planned yesterday. I know what's coming in my day, so I visualize going through the day. And people who write about visualization say use all your senses. Picture yourself having a successful day. Picture yourself getting the tasks done. Try and feel how that feels to get those things done, and it's a great motivating force. One of the things I remember reading was, be the star of this and not the audience. Don't watch yourself. Actually feel it. Feel the pleasure of sitting tonight with a cuppa or a glass of wine or whatever, and having had a successful day. And the more you do it, the better your brain. It's like anything with your brain. The more you do something, the better it becomes. The better your brain becomes at doing it. And one of the other things that's really good when visualizing, as long as you're not visualizing when you're in the car and driving, is to write stuff down. So visualize how you're feeling about the day ahead. You know, if you can take a few minutes to jot some things down as you go on. So have great Tuesdays. Research says Tuesdays are your most productive day. I want to turn Mondays into your most productive day. I want to turn every day into your most productive day. That's what this is all about. So visualize kind of what's going on. Visualize what you've got ahead in your day. Visualize yourself being successful. And apparently it helps. Let me know. Okay. So take care. I'm going to go and walk the dog now. I'm surprised she hasn't started to bark, because when it gets this late, she's like, where's my walk? So I'm going to go and do that now. Sorry I was late today. Technical issues at about 6:30 that necessitated a reboot of the computer. Okay. Visualize your day. Have good days. See you soon. Morning, everyone. I'm having a few problems with sound, so I hope you can hear me. Looks like you can. So good morning. Wednesday the 16th of September. Hump day. We have names for these days, don't we? It's hump day today. This gets over the week, over halfway through the week, and we can get ready for our run into the weekend. Might talk about work-life balance tomorrow. Today I wanted to talk about control and a bit of philosophy. Stoic philosophers believe that there's a thing called the dichotomy of control, except it's not really a dichotomy because there's more than two things to it, so that's a bit puzzling, but there you go. So they talk about the dichotomy of control, and they say that there are some things you can control, some things that you can't control, and then a whole other set of things. I think that's the dichotomy. And then the other bit is, but there are some things that you can't control, but you have influence over. And I think this is really important, because what they also say is that the route to happiness is accepting this. The route to happiness is accepting that there are simply some things you can't control. Control the things you can, and don't worry too much about the things you can't control. Kind of get on with them. You just have to take those, is what one of the Stoic writers says. I'm paraphrasing. So the other aspect of this is that when it comes to the things you can't control, the influence you have over the things you can't control is how you approach them. So what's important here is setting up yourself in such a manner that you approach things with a positive mindset. If you go into a situation with a negative mindset, I'm never going to get these things done, I don't think I can do this, I don't think I can do that, then we are products of our thoughts. So if you go in with negative attitudes and negative approaches towards things, the chances of them kind of coming out well or less, or at least how you feel about them, are more negative than they are positive. So the dichotomy of control: some things you can control, some things you can't control, some things you have influence over. So think about how you set out your mindset, how you attend to the thing that you're about to do, and plan it so that at least you've got control of as much of it as you possibly can have, and then set your mindset to it, approach it in a positive way. With many things, well, with everything really, you can't control the outcome, even if you've got complete control over something, or you think you have. You can't control the outcome, but what you can control is your approach to it. So set your approach goals. Why am I doing this thing that I'm doing? What's positive in this for me? And even in the things that we can't control, there are often some positives in there, in the reason behind why we're doing them. So set your happiness on the things that you can control. If there are things you can't control, you just have to get on with them. I have a worst first approach to this. So if there are things that are outside of my control, things that I need to do that I don't really want to do, but they're just things I have to do because I get, because it's part of the job and I get paid to do all the bits of the job, not just the bits that I like. So I just get those things out of the way first. I set my approach to it as being, if I can get this job done to the best of my ability, a bit of an internal motivator there, get this job done to the best of my ability, then what I can do is get onto the things that I really love to do. So set your approach goals. Remember, you can't control the outcome. If it goes wrong, and you've done everything you can to prepare for it, if you've done everything you can to bring the future and the present, to plan for it, so that when you hit that point, you've done all you can, you've brought all your skills and all your knowledge to the table, then you've done all you can. And if it goes wrong, then maybe it's a reflective point just to check that you did bring everything to the table that you could, and prepared for it well, just to check that out. And if you have, you have. And if it's gone wrong, it's gone wrong. And think about what you can maybe do differently next time, or what other people need to do differently next time. So I repeat, control what you can. Do the things you can control. Accept that you can control some things. The things you can't control, try and approach them in such a way that they become a positive for you. And have a good Wednesday. And by lunchtime, you're halfway through your week. So don't like this hump day idea, but I'm still saying it. So by the time you get to lunchtime, you're halfway through your working week. For most of us, I know not all of us work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, but for most of us, you're halfway through your working week. So have a good day, and I'll check in tomorrow. And I might, if something else doesn't pop into my head, I might talk about work-life balance tomorrow. Okay, have good days. Morning, everyone. Morning. It's almost midday for me. I was up ridiculously early this morning. I got out of bed about 5:30. I've created a video lecture already. So this will mean no doubt that there'll be an afternoon nap, I would have thought. But we're programmed for an afternoon nap. It's in our biology, it's in our chemistry. We are programmed for an afternoon nap. So embrace the nap. Embrace the afternoon nap. I'll be having an afternoon nap today. I was up at 5:30. You wake up and something's just in your head. I call it the kind of churn. You wake up and something's in your head, and kind of you think, right, I need to remember this thing. So I grab my phone and I stick it in my phone, the thing I'm trying to remember. And I was awake, and I just thought, I might as well get up because I'm not getting back to sleep. So I got up and I did some work, and here I am just after 7. I've already got some decent work under my belt. So there you go. So I'd already had me 7 hours, 8 hours sleep, because I went to bed at 9:30, like you do. So anyway, I didn't come in here to talk about sleep, although sleep's very important. Yeah, so I was thinking this morning about the fact that I work at Sunderland University, as you probably know, and we're welcoming back lots of students at the minute, which is really good. We've been talking to our returning students this week, and are still doing that, and next week we'll be welcoming lots of new students, which is really exciting. It's really exciting to have people to talk to, because I like to talk. And it got me thinking about approach goals and avoidance goals, and I think it's really interesting. It got me thinking about a bit of research that I read ages ago, in a book somewhere, and I can't even remember where now. And it was about groups of students who they researched students of equal kind of academic ability, if you like, similar academic abilities, and they looked at how they set their goals. And some were setting approach goals, positive goals, things like, I want to do well in this assignment. And other people were setting negative avoidance goals, things like, I just don't want to fail this assignment. And what they discovered was, despite the fact they found people of similar academic ability, the people who set themselves positive approach goals rather than negative avoidance goals did better. And I think that has real power for me, because I think that how we set our goals how we set our attention to something, how we set our mind to the task is really important. And if you approach something with a positive attitude, you are more likely to have success. That's what I find. I don't know if you find that. Let me know. I think it's really important. It goes back to, I've mentioned before, that Stoic philosophy thing of there are things you can control and there are things you can't control. So set your store by the things that you can control. And even when you can't control something, you can influence the things that get you to the kind of conclusion of something that you've got limited control over. So I think that's important, and I think part of that control is how you set your mind to the task positively. Again, Stoic philosophy thing is that you cannot control the outcome of something. Even if you have control over it, you can't control the outcome, because in life, as you know, there are so many other factors at play when we attempt to do something, even when it's something we have, or feels like we have complete control over. There are so many factors at play that we cannot control the outcome. We cannot control where the process ends up, but we can control how we approach it. And if we approach it positively, then we're going to do better with that than if we approach it negatively. So here we are. It's Thursday the 17th of September. Let's approach the day positively. Let's have a positive mindset. Let's not be somebody who just wants to kind of not do badly. Let's be people that want to do really well. And like anything else, you are what you think, is something else that I read places. You become the person. You become the person based on how you think, what your mindset's like. So let's be positive people today. Let's be positive people and have good days. And I'll be having a nap this afternoon at about 2, I'd imagine, because I've been up really early, if you didn't catch the very start of this. So yeah, have good days, and no doubt see you tomorrow. Take care. Morning, everyone. Friday is a really important day. Firstly, apologies for how I'm looking. I've been up early, got a busy day, so I've been doing some prep for the rest of the day, and haven't even made it into the shower yet. I've got no idea what's going on with my hair, but there you go. It's just the way it is. But what I want to say is probably more important than how my hair looks. You can decide. Friday is the most important day of next week. What you do on a Friday will establish how good your weekend is and how good next week is. Simple as that. If you work at breakneck speed right up until 5, 6 o'clock tonight, or whatever it is that you'll be finished, then what's going to happen is that you are going to crash into the weekend, and you're then going to end up in the position that I talked about earlier in the week, where Tuesday will end up being your most productive day, and you'll lose Monday to planning. But while everything's in your head this afternoon, while everything that you need to kind of think about for next week, while everything that's mulling over in your head is in your head, you need to get that out of your head and get that into your plan for next week, because you're not going to get everything done today that needs to be done, are you? So at the end of the day, you need to plan for next week to make sure you've got all your ducks in a row for next week. Have you got all the things in all the right places that you're going to need first thing Monday morning and for the rest of the week? Because that will make for a more productive week. So, I'm fond of saying a good day starts the previous day with your plan, and a good week starts at the end of whatever your previous working week is. So that's really important. So difficult as it is, and it'll be hard the first time you do it, because you're going to wonder where you're going to find 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes from the plan next week. But once you get into the habit of doing that, you'll find that you get the time back next week. So it's tough the first week you do it, because you're desperately trying to find the time. But there'll be a cycle that you kind of get into that means you will find the time more easily at the end of weeks, and you'll get used to that really nice feeling of walking away from the office, not with everything done, not with everything done by any stretch of the imagination, but with everything in order, ready to get at it for next week. And one or two people that I've talked about this and have talked about doing this, who've taken this on board and done it, have said that they've had better weekends as a consequence, because they've just been able to leave behind. They've had that sense of leaving behind more, because they know that while there's a lot to do next week, everything is sorted, so they can get at it straight away. They're not going to waste time next week figuring out what there is to do. And there's evidence that it also helps mitigate against some of that kind of Sunday night blues, where you're kind of just wondering what's happening tomorrow, what have you got to get to tomorrow, what's your priority, what are you gonna try and get done first, because you've already done that, you've already figured that out. And all right, we can't mitigate against something being in your inbox Monday morning that creates chaos, but at least you'll have everything in order, and you'll know where everything is and what's to do, so you'll be able to integrate whatever urgent thing pops up in your inbox first thing. You'll be able to integrate that into your week more effectively. It won't be easy, but you'll be able to integrate it more effectively. So today, Friday, is the most important day of next week. So at the end of today, plan everything for next week. Have you broken down big tasks into smaller tasks so they're easy to get started on? That stops procrastination. Have you done that? If you've got meetings to go to, phone calls to make, have you got addresses? Have you got phone numbers? Have you got documents? Are they all there and all ready? If you do all of that, you will feel a whole lot better. You will hopefully have a better weekend where you can focus on your rest and recovery rather than focusing on what on earth there is to do on Monday morning. And then you'll get it next week, and you will be absolute stars. So final day of the working week for many. Plan at the end of today for next week, and then we'll see how that goes. And then we'll chat over the weekend. Okay, have a good one.